Alright, we got a long overdue update on the exhaust muffler delete action. It failed on me about, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks to a month after I put it on. So what I just did, because I was sick and tired of it being open, especially when I was at clients' houses where I need to be quiet, I just turned it over to manual. I took the little motor out. What happened, what failed, was the motor was getting water into it through the seals, locked up the contact points, and then everything else went downhill. But I just started her and turned her on. She's a little warm, but I've got it where you can actually turn it by hand now. And I used a DeWalt impact Phillips head as sacrificial. So if it gets locked up and I can't do it by hand, I can at least put an impact on here and be like, and it'll loosen it up. Inside this housing where this gear goes, had a worm gear here that went to a drive gear. This drive gear went to another gear that was inside here that moves the flappy around. And what happened was there was a bunch of sand and grit down under here in this housing. This little box right here, it was in there, and it was chunky and crunchy. I don't know how it got in there, but it got in there somewhere around there. Who knows? Well, you can see where the motor went. It was all rusty. It was bad. I thought about fixing it, pulling it apart, and I could fix it. I technically get the motor working again because everything was still fine. But I said nah, because it's just going to happen again. Seals are bad. It's not really, made for this much punishment, I doubt, because it was a cheapie. But, if you can do this with your hand, awesome. My next thing is driving around with it closed and see if it opens from bumps or anything like that. I don't think it will, because as soon as you close this puppy, it instantly doesn't want to bypass it because it just goes to the least resistance. So muffler exhaust goes right on by when it's not whispering. As soon as you crack it, which way do I go? There we go. Crack it like that, you'll hear it, and then it starts flowing. Big difference on the sound. All right, well, let's close it and I'll show you what I mean on starting it up and stuff. I took the keys out, didn't I? Yep, I did. All right, give me a second. Earlier, we had a nice accident right here. It was called walking through here barefoot. Caught the baby toe pinky between that sharp metal. Sliced her right open, Karen. And she began to bleed all over here. But I buttoned her up. She's all together. This is the motor here. How you can tell. Oh, yeah, look at that. Those are the contact points right here for the actual contact points. I forget what those are called. But, yeah. That's where it's going to fail. And then I first made this where it was going to go to the flapper on the inside, and then you can adjust it with a screw. And then I started thinking about it, like, you know what? I'm just going to turn it manual. Take that darn thing apart. Alright, I came in here for my keys. Alright. Well, actually, I can start it. Nice and quiet. I have the exhaust on. Nothing whispers out of here either. I was surprised. I was figuring something would be whispering, but it doesn't. Yeah, that little extra nudge, you can hear it go, oh, and it gets even more quieter. But yeah, that's it in a nutshell. I mean, also what got me looking at this is I was wanting to turn it manual, and I come over and I saw that one of my clamps that I had here, you can see where it was bent, but yeah, one of my clamps fell off, and this thing was just coming down just a hair, and I was like, holy crap. So I'm glad I saw that before it, originally fell off on the highway or something. So I just tack welded this side. I really need to lift the car up and tack weld the other side. but that'll be enough. I cooked that weld in real heavy. So there's a good bond there, and it's sleeved up in there. So I'm not too worried about it. These welds were all the way around. Those were, because I actually dropped the exhaust in the pipe. This used to be stainless, or if not chromed, but you can see that it's gone downhill. But that's okay, I don't care. It's an exhaust. So be it. I'm just glad the check engine light never came on. Super lucky. Also found out in Ohio that exhaust's got to be past your driver door or your passenger door. We're past it. Here or there. So